The 6 biggest mistakes men make that push women away. Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why is it that even though I'm a nice guy, some women seem to distance themselves from me? The truth is, many times, we don't even notice when we make small mistakes that end up working against us. Sometimes, it's just a word or a gesture that sends the wrong message, and unintentionally, you lose points. The good news? You can change this, and in a simple way. In today's world, with so many options on social media and dating apps, the competition is fierce. You can't deny that women have more choices than ever before. That's why even small slip-ups can cost you the attention of someone special. But don't worry, no one here needs to be perfect. The key is to avoid those basic mistakes that end up pushing them away. And the best part? This is something any man can learn. When you understand what works and what doesn't, everything changes. By correcting these mistakes, you not only improve your interactions, but also start to feel more confident as a man. And let's be honest, confidence is one of the most attractive qualities you can have. Today, I'm going to show you the 6 biggest mistakes many men make, and, of course, how to avoid them. The tips are practical, easy to apply, even if you've never really thought much about this before. So, if you want to transform your relationship experiences and avoid those missteps that push women away, let's dive in. Mistake number 1, lack of confidence and indecision. Believe me, one of the biggest turnoffs for women is noticing a lack of confidence in you. Picture this. You're on a date, and she asks where you're going for dinner. Then you respond, whatever you want. Seems polite, right? But in reality, it comes across as insecurity. Women like clarity and decisiveness because it sends the message that you know what you want, and that's attractive. Being confident doesn't mean being arrogant or wanting to control everything. It's about being firm in your choices. Whether it's deciding where to eat, what to talk about, or how to navigate a moment, men who can take a stand exude a sense of security, something many women find irresistible. Confidence shows in the small details like maintaining steady eye contact and speaking clearly and calmly. Now, let's look at the flip side. Indecision. This can be a real deal breaker. When you hesitate too much, it can seem like you're uninterested or don't value the connection. For instance, if you take too long to ask her out, it might give the impression that you're not really into her. On the other hand, being decisive shows that you know what you want and are willing to go after it, and that's highly admired. Want to improve? Start with small steps in your daily life. Make simple decisions, like choosing where to have lunch, planning something fun with your friends, or organizing your week. This trains your mind to be more practical and assertive. Over time, you'll notice that this confidence begins to appear naturally in your interactions. And in the end, women aren't looking for a perfect guy, but someone who's secure and authentic. Mistake number 2. Being too available or needy. Showing interest is super important. But do you know when that crosses the line? When you become too available. This can have the opposite effect. Instead of drawing her closer, it pushes her away. When you're always available, it can come across as if you don't have your own life, and this might make her think something is missing from your personality, or even lose interest. Mystery and independence are essential ingredients for keeping attraction alive. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times you've responded to messages immediately, or changed your plans just to please someone? While well-intentioned, this can come across as a lack of confidence or worse, desperation. The truth is, a strong connection is built on balance. Having an interesting life, with room for some distance to build longing, makes all the difference. The key is to maintain your priorities. Keep investing in your hobbies, your friends, and your projects. For example, if you have a set time for the gym or an important commitment, don't cancel it just to fit into her plans. This shows that you value your time and have a life full of purpose, something that naturally attracts others. To change this behavior, start by setting healthy boundaries. Dedicate time to what's important to you, and don't be afraid to make that clear. Show her that your life is rich and that you don't rely on her to be happy. It's not about playing games, but about being a secure, confident, and admirable man. Mistake number 3. Lack of emotional communication. Many men think that just dressing well or having good conversation skills is enough to impress. But without strong emotional communication, you might end up pushing women away. This skill is about understanding and validating how she feels, going beyond just listening. It's about showing that you genuinely care. A common mistake is appearing disinterested or giving automatic responses like, I get it, or, yeah, that makes sense. You know that moment when she shares something important and you just nod your head? That doesn't create a connection. Now, if you say something like, wow, that sounds like it was tough for you. How did you handle that? There you go. you've just shown genuine interest. Another important point, sometimes she doesn't want solutions, she just wants to vent. So instead of giving advice or trying to solve her problem, just listen. If she complains about work, for example, instead of suggesting what to do, say something like, "That must be frustrating to go through, but you're handling it so well." This kind of empathy creates an emotional bond that brings you closer together. To improve your emotional communication, practice active listening. This means maintaining eye contact, asking questions that show you're engaged, and repeating key points of what she said. Also, share your own experiences and feelings. This not only builds trust, but also makes it clear that you're open to creating something deeper. Mistake number 4, not showing leadership. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is failing to take the lead in important moments. This isn't about grand gestures or complex decisions, but about showing that you can handle everyday situations with confidence and clarity. For example, when you're deciding something simple, like where to eat, saying, "You decide," might seem harmless, but it can come across as passive. Women like men who know what they want and take the initiative. Leadership isn't about being bossy or controlling everything. It's about being attentive to what could work for both of you and taking the responsibility to guide those moments. Imagine you're at a park and need to pick a spot to sit. Instead of hesitating or asking her to decide, say something like, "That shady spot under the tree looks great, let's sit there." These small gestures convey security and show that you're comfortable taking the lead. This also applies to moments of conflict. Avoiding discussions or shying away from solving problems can come across as immaturity. Instead, face difficult conversations with calmness and clarity. If she's upset, for example, say something like, "I understand that you're unhappy. Let's talk and figure out a solution together." This demonstrates emotional maturity, reinforces respect, and creates a stronger connection. If you feel like you lack initiative, start small. Practice leading in simple, everyday situations, like suggesting activities or solving minor problems. As you develop this skill, your confidence will grow, and leadership will become natural. When you show that you're someone she can rely on, it strengthens the bond and makes you stand out. Mistake number 5, ignoring signs of interest. Many men miss out on incredible opportunities simply because they don't notice the signs women send when they're interested. These signals aren't always direct. They can be subtle gestures like a lingering glance or a special smile. If you're not paying attention, you may come across as uninterested or even insensitive. Here's an example. You're at a party, and you notice a woman playing with her hair while talking to you. It might seem like a casual gesture, but often it's her way of trying to catch your attention. Another example? When she asks about your weekend plans. It might sound like small talk, but she could be trying to create an opportunity for you to connect. The problem with ignoring these signs is that she might interpret your lack of action as disinterest. Imagine she maintains eye contact, smiles at you, and you still don't make a move. This might cause her to give up and shift her focus to someone who picks up on these cues. To avoid this mistake, pay attention to the details. Observe how she behaves. Subtle touches on your arm, curious questions about you, or changes in her tone of voice can be clear signs of interest. When you notice these signals, act with confidence. It can be something as simple as starting a more personal conversation or inviting her to do something spontaneous. The key is to balance your initiative with reading the moment, showing that you're a secure and attentive man. There's a secret to attracting women that only a small percentage of men know, and you can be one of them. Imagine knowing what to say and how to act to spark in her a desire she doesn't even understand but can't resist. This knowledge is now within your reach, and the best part? You don't need to be rich, handsome, or experienced. Thousands of men around the world are using this method to completely transform their love lives. And what's most surprising? It's so simple that you'll wonder why you never knew about it before. Curious to find out what it is and how it works? Don't let this opportunity slip by. Click the link below in the comments to watch the video and discover this unique method. It might be the missing piece for you to turn the tables and finally attract the women you've always wanted. The answer you're looking for is just a click away. Mistake number 6, trying too hard to impress. It's very common to see men fall into the trap of trying too hard to impress, thinking this will guarantee a woman's interest. But in practice, this over-the-top effort usually has the opposite effect. When you overdo it, by exaggerating stories, flaunting achievements, or trying to seem more interesting than you really are, it can come across as fake. And believe me, women can spot that from a mile away. Imagine you're on a date and spend most of the time talking about your job, your car, or your travels. Your intention might be good, but to her, it sounds like self-promotion, or even like you're seeking validation. Instead of impressing her, you end up creating a barrier because she feels like she's not getting to know the real you. The truth is, attraction happens in authenticity, not in grand gestures or rehearsed speeches. Women are drawn to men who are comfortable being their true selves without constantly trying to prove something. For example, instead of listing your accomplishments, why not share a funny story or something that shows your human side? This keeps the conversation light and creates a more genuine atmosphere where she feels comfortable. If you want to fix this mistake, start by finding a balance. Yes, it's important to showcase your strengths, but not in a way that feels like you're selling yourself. Let your actions speak for themselves and be honest when talking about your life. Also, show genuine interest in what she has to say. Ask questions, listen attentively, and respond sincerely. When you're authentic and confident in who you are, without overdoing it, she'll naturally feel more connected to you. If this video was helpful to you, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and don't forget to check out the next video playing on the screen.